A flock of vampires. When do we stand up? How far do we go to protect our rights and freedoms? What about our neighbors' rights? Or people 1,000 miles away on our southern border? Let me tell you a story of mi gente, nuestro gente del valle. Though we each come from our own valle, this is the story of someone who stood up. But do I have the right to tell our stories? What is history but one person's point of view? These are true events we do not hear about often. Let's set the time frame. 1821, Mexico wins freedom from Spain. 1829, Mexico abolishes slavery. But some white immigrants in the Mexico state of Texas begin a movement to start an independent slave-owning country. 1836, Texas declares independence from Mexico. 1846, the U.S. invades Mexico, and after 2 years of battle, overruns Mexico City. You must remember the song, "From the halls of Montezuma." Well, that's the war. 1848, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo grants U.S. over half of Mexico's territory. Juan Nepomuceno Cortina Jose Ochoa, Red Robber of the Rio Grande, or Robin Hood of the Valle Rio Grande. The Cortinas were a rich family owning property on both sides of the new U.S.-Mexico border. Juan fought the Yankee horde when they invaded his country in the mid-1840s. He continued his fight for his community in the newly established U.S. territory. But promises of full citizenship and equal rights were dashed by land swindles, arsons, and assassinations. Racial profiling and police violence against people of color are sadly centuries-old practices. Cortina stopped a sheriff from brutalizing a Mexican-American citizen. How do you respect law enforcement that doesn't respect you? In 1859, in desperation, he and a group of like-minded citizens took control of the city of Brownsville, Texas. Cortina published a proclamation in the local newspaper calling for equal treatment of Mexican-American citizens and the protection of basic civil rights. Cortina noted that a flock of vampires, in the guise of men, came and scattered themselves in our settlements without any capital except the corrupt heart and the most perverse intentions. Cortina went on to provide support on both sides of the border. He fought on the side of Union troops in the U.S. Civil War. He led a group of vaqueros for Don Benito Juarez at the Battle of Puebla against the French. Sadly, he died in Mexico City, prisoner of dictator Porfirio Diaz. We've heard the expression that history just shows us that we cannot learn from the past. Over 160 years later, another flock of vampires, in the guise of humans, have descended upon our settlements to steal our basic rights as citizens. They want to bring down the foundational pillars of our democracy. Charging a fee to vote is no longer legal, but making it more difficult for some people to vote is legal. Nearly 20 million voters have been removed from voter registration lists, many with the name Garcia or Chin, or with African American ancestry. Texas, New Mexico, and Georgia lead the nation in shutting down polling places. And guess whose neighborhoods get excluded? Convenient drop-off boxes are being replaced with voting centers far away from neighborhoods of color. In the last major election, many inner city residents stood in line for hours just to cast their vote. Those flocks of vampires want to drain the blood and political power of us all. How will we stand against them? Will we exercise our right to vote? I'll stand up. Will you? When do we stand up?
Hello, my name is Lucas Van Linden. My song is called Pray No More, and it was really inspired by the feeling of knowing how many generations of people have been fighting the same fight against the same enemies. The frustration of that experience, the cyclical nature of it, and also I think the biggest impact for me is the cultural acceptance of this battle as something that is just a matter of fact. It happens, it's just there, and it'll go on forever. The thing that stands out for me a lot in these kind of discussions and these experiences tends to be, what do I do? You know, we're always asking these questions, like, what is my part in this? What is my impact? And for me, it tends to be my music, tends to be my voice. So I wanted to write something that speaks to how we end things so that we can all move on. So this is my song, Pray No More. You have come, you have never left. Like a drum, you beat your iron chest, and like a wound upon our sacred land, you salt the earth, salt the earth, salt the earth. There is peace when we are silent. I will pray no more for peace. There is change when we are violent, but the chains are not released. We've been praying for your mercy, but we all know the score. Pray no more, pray no more, pray no more. You are here, you are not alone, and the fear that chills your iron bones, though you claim superiority, we are more, we are more, we are more. There is peace when we are silent. I will pray no more for peace. There is change when we are violent, but the chains are not released. We've been praying for your mercy, but we all know the score. Pray no more, pray no more, pray no more. Pray no more, pray no more, pray no more.